sorta, on the last video we finished building these guys, the Gulans, and previously we'd already built the Zanchis, these ones at the back. This time we're gonna apply some basing material to their bases. I'm gonna do two slightly different methods. Gonna be similar styles, but they're gonna be a little bit different. So first I'm gonna push the Zanchis out the way, and let's get to work on the Gulans. So the reason why I didn't glue them into their bases is because I wanted to be able to remove them pretty easily. Because I didn't want them to look like they're sinking into their bases, which quite often happens if you fix them to their base and then try basing them. The first method is going to be using white glue. This is again from my favourite place in the world, Daiso. So if we stick a little bit of white glue into this palette, as I'm only doing 3 bases with this glue, I don't need a lot. And I'm going to water it down a little bit. So that's the white glue. I've then got some water in a little cup. And then a reasonably old, not too great brush. So get it wet and water down the glue a little bit, like so. Not a huge amount, but just enough to make it easier to spread. So take your base and just apply it liberally all over it, like so. Yeah, we'll just get it over 2 at the same time, that makes it easier. There we go. 1, 2. Let's make sure we cover all of it. Now, the only challenge with using white glue is that it takes a long time to fully set. So even though you're doing this, it could take a day to set properly, depending on humidity and how dry it is, obviously. So that's the end of that. Now, I have some different things for basing. I have some stones from fish tanks, used at fish tanks, or as most of the Infinity community will tell you, are tactical rocks. Some little chips of bricks, and then I have some much finer stuff, which is here. So, despite what people say, I actually quite enjoy a few. Like, even though Infinity is usually fought inside a city or a built-up area. Now, obviously this stuff doesn't glue instantaneous, so we just add a few different kind of rocks. If you want really big kind of rocks, you can use bark used for gardening is a good way of doing that. So once you've got it to this, you've used a few different sizes. Let's bring that up. You then put on the small stuff to fill in the gaps. Shake off any excess, so it looks like this. Let's just quickly wipe off this content stick for its gunky stuff, and just re-clear that hole. So you can see the hole there is a little bit kind of congested, so we clear that up a bit so we can get the miniature back in. Take this next base and do the same using the small kind of, let's do this one again, using the smaller stuff to adjust. sprinkle it on to fill in the gaps. Now, there are lots of different ways you can choose to do bases. A way that I did for my JSA is to use Japanese origami paper and punch out some 25mm discs and use those. I used those for a reason, because I wanted to change up. I got tired of doing rocks and the usual kind of terrain. So that should be ready. So that's the first method I wanted to share with you. It's because you're using white glue, it's going to take a little bit longer. So we pop those to the side. They're going to dry, hopefully really well. And we'll put the miniatures to the side. Now the second method, which I'm going to do with the Zanchis, is okay. So the next method, if I can get all of these out without ripping off the tabs like I just did off camera, and I quickly made up a pin for that, is to use super glue. Again, if it's cheap enough like this stuff, you can use super glue. It's instant, which is the good thing. You don't have to worry so much about it taking a long time to dry, so you literally just apply it all over. Now, you can maybe be able to see that there's a tiny little hole there, which is for the new pin. You do have to be fairly quick though, to get it to glue, to get the basing material to glue down, so let's do this pretty quick off camera. So that's how you apply all the super glue all at once. Now, let's try just doing a few details and then do the majority of the stuff. So let's try just gluing a tactical rock here, a few bits of semi-large stuff here, get rid of the excess. And now let's try doing this in kind of like, we're just going to do this in little areas and just hopefully achieve a slightly better result from the first attempt. I did this with my frost grave miniatures for the first time, and it was interesting. I liked how speedy it was, because I was trying to get them done pretty quick in a very short amount of time. But again, like, you have to be fairly accurate, otherwise you just get lots of kind of overspill onto the sides. And then again, you have to make sure that you clear out the area where your pin's going to go. Now, even with both these methods, I would probably go over this again with before you glue the miniature down, fix it to the base permanently, is to go over it with some black paint mixed with PVA glue, just to seal everything down and make sure it doesn't come off. Now, as I might have said earlier, you can get textured paints which make this a lot easier, but your bases all kind of look a bit the same. Not perfect, but it's a good start. So, if you found these interesting and you want to see more videos or different type of videos, please leave comments below on how we can improve them. Hopefully you're going to get a much better camera for recording videos.